Hey everyone, what's up? Welcome back to another live stream, another week, another Wednesday, another live stream of the Artist Coaching Podcast. As always, um, happy to be back. As you can see, I'm on my own right now, but we're still waiting for Jay and Ralph to join in a few minutes, seconds, hopefully. We will see, but happy to see a few people in the live stream already. What's up? Hope you're doing well. For everyone watching right now, make sure to drop your questions in the Discord. You can also participate in the chat if you want on YouTube. But if you want your questions featured in the podcast episode for next week, make sure to join the Discord and leave your questions there. The Artist Coaching Discord is also the place where we bring together the community and talk to each other all week long about music and coaching and mental things and all those things aside. So if you're interested in that, make sure to join that Artist Coaching Discord. And I see that Jay is here to join us
Hey,
already. Hey,
I
we
was
don't
already
see you.
live.
Yeah, we don't see you.
You guys not seeing me?
No.
How about now?
Hey,
Hey,
there he is.
hey.
How are you?
Good. And you?
Doing good. Doing good. So, my
Nice.
back's a little bit sore. I had a massage yesterday, and that guy broke me into half. So, yeah,
You're getting old. Back problems.
no, not necessarily back problems, but from the workouts, like every now and then, I just kind of feel like my body's getting like,
Tense.
yeah, like tense. Like all the
Tensed up.
muscles have gotten a lot of hits and never really relaxed. So if you ever do like a massage at that point and they kind of start to rub down all those knots, like, for
You gotta stretch out, man.
I know, but it's always like when I'm done working out, I'm like, I always forget to schedule time to do the stretching.
Yeah, I had the same problem, and I also just when I'm working out, I want to like lift weights and get going, and like stretching, you really need to relax. But what
Yeah,
done is I found a stretch routine that's like 5 minutes, couple of stretches, and I do them throughout the day, so not always in one go.
like this,
And huh?
like this.
Yeah, exactly. But then what happens is I do them every day, and I feel way better because I also had the same problem getting tense from working out.
Yeah,
Um,
it's
but it's
shit.
like I notice I really need it more now than like 10 years
Oh,
ago.
we're online already. Nice.
Yes, we're live. Yeah,
The enthusiasm.
I was also trapped by Joey and the
Yeah, I
online.
just decided to stop.
Yeah.
I just decided to stop waiting for you guys and just go live at 2 o'clock
No, the
because
thing is, I just got a call from a woman I know very well that was sick for a long time. She had
mm,
cancer. So,
Oh,
yeah,
uh,
and she just called right at 13:59.
13,
And I
59.
was like, you're going to get my attention.
Uh, that makes sense.
Fuck Joey.
Yeah.
Hey,
Well,
guys.
hey,
hey
how are
Ralph,
you?
Hey, dudes.
you have new glasses.
Those are new. These are my glasses I usually have in the car.
These are the weekend classes.
Ah,
Yeah, it's the good glasses. But for you guys, I normally have the bad glasses.
You normally rip us off with your
Ralph, we were
bad
just
glasses.
talking about now that we're old.
Right.
About we were talking about stretching, and
Hey, yeah. I don't have
Joe.
those talks because I'm not old. Whatever, dudes. Shall I go
Well,
and do
You never
something young
stretch?
people do?
you don't stretch, Ralph.
No, I just exercise on a regular basis. I don't need to
Same.
stretch.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
even I also exercise at like 2 seconds, coffee machine.
No problem, guys. Check this out. You just do like this. You touch the ground. Do it like this.
Look at those bent knees.
No problem, Ski.
Look at those knees bent, almost
Yeah,
90
your knees.
degrees.
I don't need to stretch. Hey, exhibit A.
Well,
Can we
for
now
me,
have young people talk again?
I also work out twice a week, but I just started to notice that everything's getting a little bit tense. Like I had a massage yesterday. The guy broke me apart, and now I feel a little bit sore.
Hmm.
But I was talking with Jay. Like I used to stretch as well. I did the same thing as Jay, like 5 minutes a day or 5 minutes after a workout, for example.
Yeah, my
It
father
really
does
paid
it
off.
as well.
It's one of those. I feel like it's one of those routines. Just like working out, I don't really need now yet. But if I can get it into my routine now,
It's an
in 20
investment.
years, it's gonna be ingrained in me as a person, and I will benefit a lot from it.
Brings me to one of those things for of life. By the way, just someone's making a cappuccino on the background. So,
I cannot hear anything, to be honest.
No, you don't hear it that much.
oh
No,
really? Oh,
no.
perfect. Um, but that brings me to a point that's like a big thing in life, which I'm starting to figure out more and more when I get older, is the whole compounding effect of little things. So if you do small things every day, that compounds really over time. And it's the same with stretching 5 minutes a day or 2 minutes a
Yep,
day. Over time, I will believe that that compounds.
100%. It's actually funny. I dislocated my shoulder uh,
Yeah.
4 years
Golfing.
ago.
I
No,
can
no,
tell.
4 years ago. No, because I wouldn't be sitting here like this if you dislocate your shoulder. You're really like screwed if that happens. You have to like 6 months. You cannot really move. But also those physio exercises you get, they seem to do nothing. It's like you do literally with a band some stretches.
Hmm.
But if you do them every day, you really see how well relatively fast you strengthen that muscle again.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, that definitely what you said is true. Also, I really respect people who have to learn how to walk again because for me it was just my
Cool.
arm. Um, Imagine you have to learn
Man,
to
that's
walk.
crazy.
It's whew.
But that can also be brought back to music, Like I had a talk with a producer last week about this. That I believe it's better to make 1 hour of music production every day for the next 10 years than trying to spend 8 hours a day and also do work and a regular day job and like put yourself into super tough positions because it's just not doable and you have to kind of um,
Bend
be-
over backwards.
bend over backwards to get yourself
Hey.
into that studio. But just 1 hour of music production a day
Then the stretching comes back into play, huh?
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly,
We
nice
planned this whole
bridges.
thing, guys. Guys,
No, but
Ralph is
there's
building
we did
yeah,
bridges.
rehearse this.
but there's something in between doing production work for 1 hour a day and bending over backwards to do all this stuff, so it's kind of a extreme here and a perfectly feasible thing right here.
Yeah, but it's hard to find that balance for most people, and especially if music is not your profession yet. So if you have a full-time job on the side, try to build your career in the weekend hours or in the evening hours, then it becomes a challenge. Like the
Yeah,
balance is hard to find if you already have like a day job.
it's also
That's
hard when you have like
priorities.
if you have 2 days a week where you can focus on making music. It's I don't think it's the right approach to then only make music on those 2 days. What I always try is to make something every day, and I always say to myself, it doesn't have to be much at all. It can just be like one melody. Don't even need to choose right sounds. But because of this, you get into this kind of like creator vibe, and you want to go back to certain ideas you worked on before, and also you usually don't stop when you have just a melody. You kind of make a little more out of it,
A drop.
and that way it definitely compounds, and then you don't have that pressure of having to deliver creativeness on the days you dedicated to your studio, so to speak.
It's actually a sentence of one of my favorite books of what the War of Art, which is like it's not the he talks about writing, but you can also put it onto music production. Like it's not the writing that is the hard part; it's the sitting down. Like coming to the studio in this case and getting your ass into that chair every day to make music is the hard part because once you're actually making music and have your setup and have some beats and have some melodies, then the creative juices mostly get flowing and it's easier to continue working on it. But it's the first resistance you feel that you have to overcome um, in order to make a lot of music, and that
Yeah.
resistance is the problem for most
There's
producers.
this book you I think recommended me, and it tells you about habits and
Yeah,
like
Atomic Habits.
yeah, Atomic Habits, and it says like about running. If you want to start running, don't just say I want to run 5K a day, because out of nowhere that's really hard to do in your current schedule. But just
Dude,
promise yourself,
5K is
put your
easy. That's
shoes
the
on.
warming up phase.
No, but just like yeah, exactly. David Goggins says that, right?
Yeah.
I don't
Stay
Put your
know.
hot.
shoes on. Put your running shoes on in the morning. Is one of those things. Just put them on. Usually, you kind of then want to go out. Then say to yourself, "I'm gonna just make one loop around the block." What happens is 9 out of 10 times you'll make it further. You'll extend it a little bit. Um, but that's yeah the start of the that habit.
I actually don't tell her because she's gone now, but I actually used this tactic for my girlfriend. I kind of lured her into starting to run like 1 mile a week. Then she started 2 miles a week. Last week she came home 16 miles
Wow.
Dude. But why did you lure her into it? That's the
because she wanted to. We have the 10 miles in Tilburg, right? That running
I walked it.
marathon event. Yeah, me too. And it's a great event. And every time we stand there and she's like, oh, it's such an amazing event. Next year I'll join. Next year I'll join. You know how people say that's in the moment.
If you do now 16 miles, then 10 miles is a walk in the park.
Oh, I meant 16 kilometers, so 10 miles.
Okay.
Um, and so I tried to motivate her to start training for it. And so she did. And now within like just a couple of weeks, I think it's been 8 weeks or something, she
I like
already
the Barney
qualified,
Stinson approach.
which is
Like, you don't train for a marathon. It's easy. Step
yeah,
1, start running.
yeah.
There is
Step
no
two,
step 2.
you don't stop. Yeah,
Yeah.
the Barney Stinson. Yeah, but if you watch that episode, he also kind of broke down during the marathon.
No, after the marathon. When he was in
Oh yeah,
the
he couldn't walk
the
anymore.
subway.
Oh yeah, yeah, that's right. Yeah,
Those
yeah,
things
that's right.
also like if you want to run a half a marathon, it's also sometimes good to just sign up, and then you kind of
Yep.
know you're gonna have to, or you paid money to sign up, so
Yeah, have
it could also be a good tactic.
like a financial stake, as in like
Stimulus.
Yeah,
yeah,
it's like, hey, it's in
Yeah.
a month. I better start training because it's gonna
No,
happen.
it's in a week.
or
I better start training.
what
It's
also really
Tomorrow,
today.
helps,
I better start.
I better go on the
what also
train.
really helps is to tell people around you that you're going to do it. Like have social pressure from your
Yeah, yeah,
friends, from
yeah.
your family to say like, hey, I'm going to do this, and like eventually they will come to you like, dude, you said you were going to do this, and now what? Like you don't want to kind of yeah not
Yeah, but
perform over
also I
there.
think every friend group has that guy that says they're gonna do a bunch of things and never does. Don't become that guy or
Don't
girl.
become that guy. No,
Oh,
true.
girl.
Or girl. True.
Hey, gotta be a little bit inclusive there,
I
Jay.
said and girl.
Oh,
I said it.
Hey, you know what
I
I just found out right before this recording? That there's a new documentary of Avicii.
oh,
Oh,
I didn't know.
No, me neither.
Which streaming platform?
It's not online yet. It
Oh,
premiered at a film festival somewhere. It's called I'm Tim. Avicii, I'm Tim. It's called. And it's probably it seems to be like a in-depth look in his last few months. So super interesting to me, to be honest.
I really love that clip of him and Chris Martin in the studio.
you're so
That's
talented, man. You're
yeah,
so
dude.
talented, man.
It's insane. You see Chris Martin going all berserk, you know.
Yeah, and Avicii sitting
And
there like behind
yeah,
his
he's
laptop.
like, whatever, dude. So cool. You know,
I
you're so talented, man. You're so talented, man.
Yeah, so cool.
I just I also noticed, and then I started to go to his website, which I've never been before, the
Man,
Avicii website. But there's also a book which I'm going to order, the life and music of Tim Berklin. So a lot of photos from his past and from his career, and all combined into a book. So I'm
I
really
feel I feel
mm,
like what they're trying to do is probably very good, but it's also a bit weird to me. Like it's all this in his name and the documentary and music that came out after he died. It's kind of like, at when does it do they yeah let it go, or like it's a bit awkward to me sometimes. It's like it
yeah, it's like
feels
they're kind of using it in some kind
Yeah,
of way.
it's being
a little
commercial
bit.
about something that's really sad.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
So, but I think
I
they're
kind
doing
of
it.
thought
Yeah,
I
go
kind
ahead.
of thought the same thing with the book, as in I was like, it's in some kind of way it's a nice memory, you know, to have. If you, let's say you're a fan, you know, if you're a big fan of Avicii, um, and you can get a book with photos of his youth and also photos from the studio and from touring and whatever. I guess that could be really meaningful. But to your point, yes, when do you stop doing those things? You know, because
Yeah.
it,
No, you will
yeah,
never stop. All the greats in history all get their new documentaries, new movies, or
yeah, that's
whatever.
right.
True.
And to
Yeah,
be honest,
But that doesn't mean
everybody who
that
loves
it's right.
music loves the music of Avicii because he was, I think, the greatest. I'm just gonna say it, the greatest ever
yeah,
in
But
dance
it's one of
music.
those things where yes, it happens with all those like legends in music, but it doesn't mean that it's right or that it feels right.
No, it
Um,
depends on the message that which there's in. I mean, it's good to point out that even though you're great at something, you can still struggle, and it's not bad
yeah,
to seek for help. But yeah, it kind of feels wrong sometimes to kind of commercialize sad events from one's life or even your own life. Sometimes when I see people like pointing out sad events in their life, so oh yes, I made it, and even that has happened, blah 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 blah. Kind of is like, okay, you're making that achievement more important, or like it's there's more people that achieve the same, but in your case it's even a better achievement because of a sad event in your life.
yeah.
Kind of not right per se. I mean, but I do get it also. Yeah, it's life. It's called
Actually,
life, guys.
I was actually wondering the same thing a few years ago. Like the whole, let's say, the start of artist coaching kind of started because of my own like dip in life, you could say. You know, like the because of the worst
The
experiences,
dip.
this happened.
the
And
big
I
dip.
also wondered, like, okay, how long can I
Joey
tell
had a
this
dip.
story?
It all started with my dip.
Yeah, but really, like, how long can you tell this story until it becomes this thing you just wringle out in some kind of way, you know? And yeah, I think it's something a lot of people struggle with. Like, if you ever had something that you can commercially use or something, like, how long are you? Is it viable? How long
Now,
is
I
it?
think a good example is if, let's say, somebody eats a lot and gets really fat and then
Mm,
loses 30 kilos. Then everybody's going to like, whoa, dude, hey, you lost 30 kilos in 2.5 months. Kudos. But hey, there's also the guy or girl that never gained the 30 kilos.
Stay
true.
disciplined.
Hey,
Yeah.
food for thought. Actually
There's
makes no
also
sense.
there's also like this
Thank you.
post about this woman, I think, or man, I don't know, person who climbed Mount Everest with no legs, so only prosthetics, and the post was like, yeah, this climber climbed Mount Everest without legs. What's your excuse? And then one of the top comments was, my legs hurt. I just thought that's really funny.
That's
Um,
dark.
it's
Yeah.
dark, but it's funny, and I think what Ralph says is also like um kind of true. But also we've all like have some things in life we're not proud of, and to come back from that is like is huge. So I think
Yeah, comeback is also always
yeah, it's about the
awesome.
story. It's about that, yeah, part of the story, and you leave out the bits that you gained that weight in the first place.
Yeah. You just make it a little bit better than
It
it
was
actually is.
suddenly there, man. I was eating
Yeah,
broccoli.
Yeah.
Boom.
I woke up,
Yeah.
I was super fat, and
It's
yeah.
my genetics. It's my genetics. Okay, that's one thing I wanted to mention. Another thing which I wanted to point out is I was listening to one of the podcasts that I casually listen every week, and a
The
few of
artist
them
podcast.
artist
Artist
coaching.
coaching podcast.
Yeah, yeah,
Let's rewind. Ah, the artist coaching
yeah,
podcast.
exactly.
Okay.
No, I was listening to one of those tech podcasts, and one of those guys started to mention audio AI, and he had some tips, and I was like, let's dive into, which is pretty sick. Are you aware of stable audio? Do you know what that is? You know, when we talked about who was that? I think it was Reinier Zonneveld who made his own AI tool trained on his own music, right?
Yeah. Did he ever perform or?
I don't know, but
Still
he
has
was
to
the
happen.
one.
Yeah.
But now you're able to use it for yourself because Stable Audio launched Stable Audio 2.0, and you can literally train the engine with putting in your own music. And you can just say like, "This is my music. Make a song of 2 minutes with a vocal on top of it, and the thing starts creating it. It's insane.
Yeah.
Stable audio.
Stable
I think
Audio 2.0.
what's
It's
also
going
important
on the
to
list.
realize is how much AI is already in music production.
Mm-hmm.
If you look at
A
a
lot.
quantize function, so you record MIDI's notes and they're all out of sync, and you press one button and they sync back to the grid. That's already AI,
True.
you know. And I saw that FL Studio came out yesterday with FL Studio 2024, which is their
Hmm.
newest FL Studio, which is awesome.
Mm.
And I think we should mention because we have good contacts with them. Not
Now that you mention unscheduled, we are
uh,
planning a giveaway with Fruity Loops. So we will
hey,
get like a couple of licenses, probably for the new version, I guess. And we will be able to give it away to our listeners. So
awesome.
small heads up to everyone listening.
Yep, but I did see in the video where they introduced the new things. They
Ah,
have
yeah,
a
I have it here.
chord
Oh, sorry.
chord progression generator. It's also kind of AI that just generates chords on an existing melody of out of nowhere.
So you can
So
make a melody and say add chords to this, and
yeah,
then oh wow,
yeah, something like
okay.
that. I've only seen the video, but it's just interesting to see. There's already a lot of AI in music production, and like I think there's a lot of like um,
Go on.
doom doom talk. Thanks, Rolf. About like, oh no, AI is gonna take away our jobs, and like they're gonna make entire tracks. But you have to realize AI is already being incorporated
Incorporated.
Incorporate
on a
it.
massive scale in music production.
Yeah.
Um, and talking about AI, I saw that YouTube is working on a deal with some major labels about how do you say, like developing AI ethically. And I don't know how they're going to do that, but yeah, developing AI so that they can generate music for videos. Um,
Music for videos. Okay,
Ah,
so
like the
that
copyright free shit.
yeah,
yeah, exactly.
so they
Bad
want like
music.
music from majors that they can then let the machine learning do its thing, and then you can kind of create a J Hardway track, but it's not J Hardway, it's computer.
Well,
Um,
this. I'm just wondering because when I make content, for example,
JI. Oh.
oh wow,
JI, wow,
yeah.
J,
But
wow.
when I make content, for example, I also use Suno to make background music, and it's
Why don't you use
really
Eggboy?
yeah. The guy is really hard with licensing. It's super expensive. The guy's a pain in the ass. Like it's
Never answers his email.
yeah,
Always,
tough guy.
always.
Always on the
He even
golf.
has Instagram now. Beats by Eggboy.
You also have headphones. Beats by Eggboy.
The thing is, I needed an Instagram to get the Apple Music data. How do you
Account.
say? Yeah, account. Yeah.
Mm.
So shameless
So that's
plug. Beats by Eggboy.
Beats by Eggboy. That's your lo-fi.
Beats by Egg Boy. It's really cool.
Yep, really
But you
cool.
can feel
Rob
free
loves
to
it.
send it to me. I can use it
I actually like
for
it.
stuff.
Okay,
It's better
well,
than JI.
I like JI as well. I will use
Yeah.
that.
Different, built different. Okay, let's.
But
What?
what I want to say, because I saw this post, I think it was edm.com or something, about this whole AI, and like a lot of people are like, this is the end of the artist, the end of creation, blah blah blah.
Mm,
I want to assure everybody that's worried about this. This is not about making money, because you might not be able to make money anymore from music.
that's the
But
bad news.
newsflash, you can still create music.
Hmm.
Don't fear. You can still make music. You don't have to fear that you can not make music anymore. AI is not going to replace that. Yes, AI might make money in the music because people that want to make money always going to try to go the easy way, and you rather have like a quick AI program that will make money for you on your video than a producer who has all these demands. But you can still make music, guys. So relax. How do you guys
And
feel
just
about that?
I think it just might becomes well, I'm not even sure about that. I wanted to say that it might becomes harder, um, but I'm not even sure about that. Like, I still believe that it's the passive music that will be replaced. So elevator music, background music,
No, but I mean, I'm saying
hotel
you can
lounge
still make music,
music. Yeah, sure, you can
but
always
like
make music, but more
people
like to the
needn't be
ends of,
afraid.
but more like if you want to make this your job, then it might become a little bit harder because
Yeah,
Definitely,
rather make
definitely.
some money out of it as well.
yeah, that might become harder. You know, you can always make music as a hobby, sure, that's true, but I guess most people who listen to this podcast are in it for like
For the money?
making it a job. Well, not yeah, well, kind of the money, you know, like they want to make it their living, so they need money. Um,
Yeah, but
It's not
that's
the hobby music podcast. It's
it
the
is. It
artist
should be.
coaching
It should be.
podcast.
It should not be the main goal of your artist career to make money. I think that's a wrong approach.
no, that's
I
not
think that's a
necessarily the main goal, but it is like a realistic thing that you should think about, you know.
you
I
need
think
to
the
make
people who
money,
are just
but it
making music and couldn't care less about the rest, they don't listen to this podcast. Or they
r-
shouldn't listen. Do something else, man, if you're listening. But I think within our experience, we try to give insights to people listening how you can make this into a living, maybe, and spend even more time on making music. And then, yes, the dineros, the money, it counts.
the money is very important. You need to make money, but I wouldn't ever tell someone to have that as their main priority of your artist career. I
No,
would
it's not the
always
main
say it's better
priority,
to
but
have
it's one of the priorities. Yeah.
it's better to have a job and then next to that make music that is true to yourself than doing everything you can to make money off of your music. I don't think that's a
no,
um
you're 100% right on that, and I do believe in having a
No,
part-time job on the beginning.
it's not
No, but
100% right.
no, but
Come on, man.
it depends on which in which moment of your career you're looking at, right? So if you're really in the early stages of your music career, I would definitely recommend someone to first take, let's say, a part-time job to pay for the bills,
exactly.
and then use all the other time left to make music, so that you don't have to do things you don't want to do with your music in order to make money.
You
Like,
always have to gotta do something you don't want to
yeah, a
do.
little bit, but not like
It's always
50% or
about
60%.
compromise
Yeah, but it's
everywhere,
yeah, but
all the time.
it's not 50 or 60%. For you it might be like 10, 20% maybe.
You don't know about that.
Yeah, I
Maybe I'm
think so.
more, yeah. No, no, it's always about compromise, but I think it's you have to seek the fun in that as well. I mean,
True.
hey, fuck it. If I have to make something I don't like, I can still like the production process.
That's true, but I think that's different for every
Yeah, you kind
person.
of have to decide what kind of person you are and what kind of
To
you
me,
have
it's
as
all an excuse. I want to make the music I like, and I don't care if people listen to it. No way. Nobody's truly like that. It's an excuse. Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah,
You
it's
no,
don't
an
but
believe
you have
so?
to
excuse.
I think that's just being wired differently and it's not wrong or right, but I don't see myself miserable in the studio and making music that I'm truly not feeling. Then like if I'm not having fun doing this, part of course there's always going to be not fun. If I'm not having like let's say 70% fun in this career, I rather have a job that I don't really like and make music on the side.
No, but it's about having fun also in stuff that you don't think are fun. Because if you're gonna like be like, this is not gonna be fun,
No, I
and
agree.
you're
I agree.
blocking it off,
But
you can still find
that's
fun. And
assuming that I don't like certain things. Um,
hey, yeah, for the people who are listening, aim for the stars. Get those main stages.
How do you
Compromise.
let's just dive a bit deeper into that, because I think this is interesting for listeners to hear. How do you like what's your experience, Ralph? Like how many time of your time spent on music is compromise?
You know, I cannot give you like percentages or time or whatever, but you're gonna encounter shit you don't like everywhere. all day,
Sure,
every
that
day.
that's always the case. But
Yeah.
in if you would have to put it into roughly percentages, like what would be?
Dude, I really don't know, but I'm at this point now. Look, sometimes a track that I really don't feel, it gets to a point that, okay, I'm not going to be able to finish this, scratch it, adios, on to the next one.
Mhm.
But yeah, sometimes I finish tracks and I listen to it. Okay, we're now actually in the process of preparing the Good Festival set, working towards Tomorrowland, which is one of the main stages we do this year.
Mhm.
And then you actually you're listening to tracks that beforehand you were sending out to Promise or whatever, and nobody bought it or something. And now we are the ones who have to fill in that hour of music, and we're actually also ourselves scratching our own tracks.
Mhm.
And then I don't like that track anymore. Would I still make that track again or something like that? No, but at some point I did. It's also about the learning process, the production process. It's just going at it and see where it all gets you, and don't think too much in
It's like
fun or whatever.
I think it's like working out. If you go to the gym, I want to work out, but my goal is not to have like a crazy good physique. That would be nice, you know. It would be nice. I'm not saying that would be nice, but
Oh
that's
no,
not my
you're
goal.
actually
And there's many times.
liking pushing
There's
heavy stuff in the air.
This is the thing. I
It's
know
a
it
really good, good,
keeps me
and
healthy. Keeps me healthy. I need it. I'm type 1 diabetic, so it's like I really need that. But also it's I there's many times when I'm like I don't want to go. I don't want to be here, but I learn to enjoy even that. And it sounds weird, but I you kind of have to, but it's not my goal to be like a big guy, you know. It's that's not my there's no end goal to me working out. It's a kind of a yeah,
hey, but if
enjoy
it
the
would
you
make
gotta love
you
the
look
process.
fat and yeah,
You
you
gotta
wouldn't
love
do
the
it.
process, no matter the outcome. That's what I think, and that's where I'm like, don't aim only for like the end goal being
No, you
um,
got to be
a main
strategic
stage or
all the
money
time,
or
especially if you want to play those big stages. If you're not going to be strategic, uh, everything you have to be sharp, man.
yeah. But that's
And,
what
and
I'm
it's
not
it's
saying
about
that you don't have to be
compromise,
that.
huh?
I'm not saying you don't have to be that.
No, it depends on what you want, and I'm just saying, hey, aim for those main stages and go get them, Tiger.
Yeah, but yeah, what I'm trying to say is, yes, that's good to aim for that, but also you gotta love the process. You gotta love those, all those
Definitely,
things
but
about
that's
it.
what
That's what
I'm
I mean.
saying.
So
That's what I love, and
yeah.
it doesn't matter for me what it is. And
No, but I think like that's why I think we're kind of saying the same thing. I'm just trying to tell people that even if then the money doesn't come or that main stage doesn't come, make sure that that last year you spent, you enjoyed that part of it. You enjoyed
hey,
that
don't
grind sometimes.
obviously don't get frustrated if you don't
Yeah.
reach your end goal, man. We've reached less goals than we set. You almost never reach your goal, but it's not so that you're gonna be like. Of course, you want people to like your music. You want to share your vision. If everybody says, "Dude, that's shit," I'm not gonna listen to it. You're gonna stop really quickly with making that shit. That's
Mhm.
what I'm saying. And
Well, I'm thinking you should aim for that, but even if people don't like your shit, you should have still like be proud of that shit, and you
no,
should
no,
have
because
still
then
like
you come to the realization that it is shit, and you're gonna stop it, and
I
it's
don't
a
agree. But
failure,
what?
and it's
Why are
not.
you going to the gym?
It's
You don't look
okay
like
to
Chris
fail
Hemsworth.
sometimes, man. I
Why do
think
you
that's
go to
what's
the
wrong.
gym? You don't look like Chris Hemsworth. You should stop. Why
No,
do you go to the gym?
it's a process to get there. If you
Okay,
want to
sure.
look like Chris Hemsworth, but that's the thing. Like people are working out 4 times a day. "Ah, I'm gonna pump this and that, and you don't look like Chris Hemsworth. And then they say, I don't want to look like Chris Hemsworth. No, fuck that. You do want to look like him, but you're not there yet, or you failed. You train wrong. Something.
Yes, but I'm saying that if you don't get there, you should still enjoy that entire process because it might be 10 years of like of that kind of grind. And if you're not gonna enjoy that, I mean that's 10 years thrown away. You need to enjoy that entire
No,
process
but you
up
gotta
to now.
also be honest to yourself. Like, okay, maybe I ate too much chocolate in the evening in the couch when I was watching the 100 rerun of Friends. I don't know what, and that's why you don't look like Chris Hemsworth, which is kind of a tongue twister if you say it quite a lot. But and
I
that's the
think
thing. It's not so bad to say like, okay, I didn't reach my goal, but
Yeah, exactly. That's
yeah.
yeah.
yeah, I think what you're trying to say is that one, the minute you decide that you want to make music your business, you have to be strategic and also have to be ready to let go a few of the things. And as long as it's just a hobby, you can do whatever you want and make music you want and blah blah blah. But the minute you decide it's your job, you want to make it your job, you have to also consider other people's opinions and um, well,
Hey, I think
Just
it's
if you're
quite
I
obvious, right?
I think if you're gonna, yeah, I don't know. I think you should take a lot of things in your life more seriously than how now it's a hobby, now it's a job. To me, there's never been a divide between that when it comes to making music. There's
Oh, for
never
me
been,
there
oh,
was.
it's just a hobby. No, I was always like very serious about
No, I was
making
done
music,
with
regardless of if I was going to be successful or not.
no, but I was done with college, and I was actually out for looking for a job, and then I committed to music, and I said to myself, if I'm reaching that age and it's still not at this point, I still gotta look for that job. So yeah, you gotta commit, and you gotta like there
Yeah,
is
but
this
I'm thinking,
divide.
I mean more in terms of making music. For me, has always been very serious in a way that's like I don't see it as just a hobby. But even if I would have failed in my career, I would have still made music right now. I would have
Oh,
still and taken it just
definitely,
as
yeah.
seriously. It was never just a hobby for me, and that's what I'm trying to tell people as well. Like you don't need to change anything if you take it already very seriously. Yes, you gotta on the outside of your creation process think about where do you want to go. And I think what you just said is very good. Like give yourself a date of like, if I haven't reached that before that date, I have to somehow make money anyways. But don't
Hey, I was
give up
living at
on
my parents until I was 29, and it wasn't by choice.
no,
Just didn't have any money.
but don't give
Not
up
at all.
on taking music seriously. You can always do that. You can always create the next big hit, even if it's yeah. It's not just a hobby. I think don't call things just a hobby that too quickly. I think it's very important.
It's a passion,
perfect.
man. It's in my DNA.
Let's continue because we have a few questions from the community,
Nice. Hey,
which
I saw a demo in my inbox. Revealed recordings. Josh Letizier. I just wanted to
oh
point that
yeah,
out.
you mean it got signed? Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, yeah, he's doing well.
Yeah, he just signed that
I
review
listened to
recordings.
it. I also didn't like something in the track. He used this kind of a top kick, which had too much tone in there, but hey, choices. I'm being
Progress,
honest. Huh?
progress.
Yeah, yeah, but I liked seeing it because I was just browsing through all the demos,
Yeah, he's
and then I
actually
saw his name there.
he's listening now because he mentioned in the YouTube chat that Atomic Habits is the best book ever. So oh, he's
Big
here.
Magic. Read Big Magic. That's my
And Fresh Coast also mentions that he lived at his parents until 27 for the same reason. So, yep,
You
high
know what's
five,
up? That
high
creates
five.
character, man.
Builds character. Okay,
Yeah.
let's see. A few weeks ago, a few days ago, I'm not sure, we had a Q&A session in the artist coaching Discord, and a few topics came up, and that guy said, like, you know what, it might be valuable to throw this into the podcast and hear Jay and Ralph's opinion on this as well. So here we go. Let's see. If a new artist who was blowing up pushes spinning to release a certain frequency, such as 5 to 7 weeks per release, do you think spinning would do that? So once you're kind of blowing up, do you have some leverage to decide on the frequency of your releases with a label like Spinning, for example?
Yeah, but if it's good music, they want to release it anyway. But 5 to 7 weeks, it's kind of, yeah, 7 weeks is possible.
I think it makes it easier for
Six.
them if you have those tracks ready and if they're like 99% good to go and they're good enough.
Yeah, so
Um,
it is possible to create that leverage for a label.
So anyway, it's better to have more tracks ready anyway, because
yeah,
doing a one-off is not so beneficial for a label now. They rather build on something. Just say it like this, by the way, because are they really building? Sometimes, yeah, I don't know. But for them, they're more happier when they know we're gonna do 3 tracks with this person right now, and that gives them more. They can use more means to
mhm.
yeah.
work up each
You
release
have
to,
to look at
yeah.
it from the label, and Laid Back Luke touched on this as well in our podcast. But I think, let's say you have 3 tracks of the same style, 4 tracks of the same style, and they like the first one, and they hear you have 3 more, then they can see, hey, that one's going to be well, relatively successful, hopefully very successful, but at least this amount of streams. But then the rest of the tracks they can kind of easier than pitch to all the playlists and curators and radio DJs, because they're like, hey, this is the same style, it's the follow up, so they can see more of a longer term business in it. So um, yeah, definitely, definitely possible, but it all depends on if the music's good and if it's kind of like in the same alley. So if it's the same kind of style,
Mhm.
that's also I think very important.
Okay.
Um, yeah,
Can an artist request a clause in a contract that sets a minimum release frequency?
you can do that. You
Yeah,
can
Sorry, I
but
was
request.
listening.
but is it like a regular thing that if you sign a multi-release deal with Spinner, for example, are you able to
No one.
release?
I don't think anyone is gonna sign off on that, any label, because then it's really hard to guarantee that, because if the
Mhm.
music is not delivered, the right music, then the label is like, yeah, now we have to contractually. So I don't think they're ever gonna put it in, but you can always request it.
Yeah.
You can always request during negotiation basically anything. Don't be afraid, at least, to ask those things during negotiation. Um, yeah, and I think a label will say no. But if you would really
What was
like
the
it, just
request?
ask
Because
them.
I didn't give enough attention.
If you're able to request like a release frequency in a contract.
Yeah, we discussed that, right?
Yeah,
I
but
thought
if you
there
would,
was a new question.
this is a new question. If you sign, let's say, 4 songs with a label, can you say like, I want these songs to be released 7 weeks apart from each other?
Perfectly fine.
Yeah.
Can request it. Yeah, why not?
Okay.
If they think they're good, then don't think they will mind looking into a certain frequential thing.
I don't think they're gonna sign off on it, but you can always request it.
Let me see
Yeah.
this one. If you sign an exclusive deal with Spinin and they choose to release your music at a slow schedule, would it work to send them lots of music and release any songs they reject on other labels, and then ask those labels to schedule a release in between?
It's a weird
Yeah.
hypothetical situation right
Also,
there.
maybe it has to do with options, I
It's
guess.
many
That if
variables in that It
yeah,
sounds like
Yeah.
a very
And also one that
non-hypothetical
will,
list.
if they like the music, they will just talk to you and see
yeah,
that there's, if they want to give a lot of space, let's take the Cyril guy. I mean, Stumbling In, or is the track called? It's really good. It entered the top 50. It's at Spinning. Yeah, they will not release any tracks of him right now. It would make no sense. So
but at
yeah,
the same time, you
Just
have like the Chainsmokers tactic from back in the days, which was like, even though you have a big hit at this moment in time, just keep on the consistency.
yeah, but
if you
nowadays
wanna
also with Spotify, yeah, why would you
It's the
release a
same.
track when you have a big hit right now?
No, but
That make
in their time, there was also Spotify already. It was like with what's the closer with that track.
think about, I think in this case, if that's a thing, then think also about your relationship with Spinnin. and at least be open with them if you're signed to them. So
Yeah.
if you
I
don't
mean,
think they're
there's a lot of
releasing enough,
reasons to not release anything when you have a big hit going on.
yeah, but I think it's more the question of if the label's going to be okay with it. And I think you should always discuss with your label and don't try to go behind their
Yeah, and
back.
also, but the thing is, let's say you have a big hit. You have Roses right now, nor no, what was the other one?
Closer.
Closer. And you have another track, you want to release it, and it's a really good track again. The chances of it will tank will be so much bigger if you release it too quick, too close, too closer. Hello. And because you're in chain smokers are in all the top lists, the chances of chain smokers being in some of the top lists, the top editorials twice, are less. And that's
Hmm.
how it works. And maybe not for chain smokers, or I see Dave Guetta releasing a track every week. Um, but also, yeah, the potential of a track reaching more heights is when your other track is out of most editorials, so the new one can enter. That's usually how it works.
Okay.
For us
Good to
lesser
know.
gods, it will be the tactic because the
Lesser
most,
gods.
yeah, the most editorials, they will not put twice two bass checkers tracks in the editorial in the Spotify playlist.
A question about self-releasing.
I
Hey,
love it.
There
Did
you
it this
go.
morning.
Do you guys have any distributor you recommend? One that you have used before to release your music?
You gotta ask this guy right here with the white T-shirt and poofy hair.
This
So
guy?
that's not you, Jay. Yeah.
yeah, I also have
Yeah, exactly. Like, who who has
still
poofy
not
hair?
clear with the
You have
professional
poofy hair,
microphone.
man.
With the professional microphone.
Yeah, with
Oh,
the profession. Yeah. For me, you're the downstairs guy, by the way.
yeah,
But
for me
yeah.
too. Ralph
Okay.
is here.
I'm
Jay is
upstairs.
there.
I'm
Oh,
left top.
dude.
I'm left
You're
top.
actually, yeah.
Next to
Here's
Actually, I
Ralph.
think
Joey, and there's
Ralph,
Jay.
Ralph and I see the same
There's
thing.
Ralph.
Oh,
There. There's
oh,
Ralph.
Oh, that's weird.
And there's Joey.
Oh, that's weird.
oh,
Yeah.
no, no, no. Me and Joey see the same thing.
Anyway, distributor. Uh, well, I think you come down to the most used ones, which is DistroKid, TuneCore at this point, maybe CD Baby. I haven't. I only have used TuneCore myself, which was an okay process to be honest. The backend was not that well. Like it could have been more. The UX could have been better, user experience, but it did its job, you know. So I think it really depends on what you prefer in let's say the deal that you're signing, because with TuneCore I believe it's $10 a song per year. Other platforms have different deals, so I think it really comes down to that. If eventually a distributor's task is to bring your record from A to B, everyone does that, so it's about the little details up front that you have to agree on, to be honest. um those were the questions for this
Oh,
week. Not too many. Not too
no.
many. I must say we did kind of neglect the community a few episodes because we had guests. Um,
We
and
answered all the questions, no?
for now we did, yeah. But last time I did forget. Well, we just didn't have the time, to be honest.
I think I think if we have a guest, then it's just also we can do all the questions because it's just very interesting to hear some new
Their opinion.
insights on the industry from the guest.
We do have a new guest next week, Chucky.
Oh, yeah,
He's
that's
joining
Joey.
cool.
next week. Yeah. So we can definitely bring some questions up for him. So if you're listening right now and if you have a question for
Chucky's quite a
Chucky,
legend, man.
if you don't know who Chucky is, if you're too young to know, make sure to Google him because
It's a
he's
doll, and he it's like a horror movie star.
yeah. Oh yeah, probably DJ Chucky. Google DJ Chucky, not just Chucky. Um, but he's been like
Do you want to
yeah,
come out and play?
yeah. He was one of the, to me, in my times, he was one of the best DJs, to be honest. He was an eclectic DJ, so he played different styles. Now I guess he plays EDM house. I really don't know, to be honest. But he used to play eclectic, so from hip hop to dance, from dance to pop, from like everything just mixed together, which was insane. So I'm really looking forward to catch up with him. Have you
Super
guys
nice
ever
guy as
met
well.
him?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I met
loads
him
of
a bunch of
times.
times.
Okay, back in the
Yeah.
days or also recently?
No, it's been a long time.
I think
Mm,
the last time I see him was probably like 2016, 17. Um, something like
7 years
that.
ago, 8 almost.
Yeah, something like that. But I once played this party in Miami during Miami Music Week, and we once did a show together in Portugal,
Hmm.
which was really fun, and we played back to back as well. So
He had this big track, the Let the Bass Kick, you know?
yeah, yeah,
Let's
yeah.
bass kick in
Mm.
Miami also.
Oh yeah,
Huge.
Bass Kick in Miami as well. Oh shit!
Oh, oh.
I'm in
Just
Miami,
knocked.
bitch. Oh, amazing.
Yeah, that's
Oh
the
yeah,
one, right?
yeah,
I'm
that's the
in
one. Yeah,
Miami,
I'm in
Let the
Miami,
bitch.
bass
bitch.
kick is
Yeah.
also
That
it's a
was
little
with
bit the same.
LMFAO, right?
Yeah, I think so.
They did the
He
vocals.
did a remix, maybe.
I'm sexy and
Wait,
you
let me
know
check.
it.
Let the bass
I'm in Miami,
kick
bitch.
in. Let the
Oh,
bass
so
kick
it's
in
still good.
Miami.
I reckon you can still play that.
Yeah, it's Chucky and LMFAO. Yeah, that was a big hit. Yeah, great song. Well, he's coming to the podcast next week, and I'm looking forward to catch up with him and see what he's been up to. He said he lives in the Netherlands again because he used to live in Bonaire for a few
Oh
years.
yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, and now he's back in the Netherlands, so that's
Or it's not cool because it's always hot there.
it is cool here though. Yeah,
Yo, dude.
It's cold again, huh, today.
shitty fucking
Damn it. Yeah.
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 Anyway,
Some
guys,
context. If you're not from the Holland, we have had the worst spring. Very wet. A lot of rain.
The first
Still.
summer I have my pool and it's shit weather. I'm so unlucky.
Imagine if you didn't see the humor of that. If you
Yeah.
really like.
Oh
Also, I
yeah,
think
like
people have
on
to
Twitter
understand.
you will get flamed.
I
yeah,
think people have to understand because if we seem complainy, which we sure do, it's also Dutch culture to complain and point
all
things
day
that
long.
out
It's
that you
human
just don't
nature,
like.
right?
Yeah, but
Mm,
Dutch have perfected it. I think we've just
Yeah, we're
perfected
good at it.
complaining.
Like really blunt.
yeah,
But it's also just a nice thing if you don't have anything in common with someone. So like us three. No, but if you don't meet someone on the street, you can always talk about the shitty weather.
yeah.
Oh
So it's
man.
like it always is a
You know,
topic of conversation.
Oh dude.
I actually learned last week that doing small talk, so talking about weather and stuff, which we are great at, youth is having troubles with that because they're not used
Well,
to
no
having
shit.
small talk.
No shit.
Like
That doesn't
the
surprise me at all.
new generations really struggle to have small talk, which results in having less friends and having less relationships because it mostly starts with small talk, right? In the club, like, hey, have you watched the weather? Like, what the fuck, you know?
It's the iPad generation. It's
Yeah,
I'm
although
not
I gotta say
surprised.
that the Gen Z crowd is like really outgoing and they don't, sometimes it feels like they don't have any shame.
Which is Gen Z again? Like, what age?
The youngsters, like me,
Born in 2000, I think, maybe.
2000.
no,
So
I'm
that's
a
so
little
you're
bit
Or
older.
older or younger, maybe? I don't know.
Yeah, something like that. But let's say 24, 23, 21-ish.
Gen Z is the Zoomers. Okay, nice.
I was just for a second thinking if you're born in 2000, you must be 14,
It's
but you're already
24.
24.
Yeah,
What the hell?
sick, huh?
Holy shit.
But born between 1997 and 2012. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Then you're Gen Z.
Then you're
That's
the
kind of the
iPad
club.
generation, part of it, at least.
Yeah.
But thing is, sometimes they don't have any shame because they're like, they are used to this thing recording themselves and they go blah, 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 blah. And for me, when I try to record myself, I go like, I should say this, I should say that.
Well,
And then,
I do see what you mean, but what is even more awkward to me is that if you meet one of those vloggers and they are very like cold or shy in real life, that's also very
Introvert.
weird to me. That
yeah,
they're
that's
talking
weird.
to a camera all confident and then to your face they're kind of like so shy
Hello.
and it's like that's a bit weird to me. But I guess
That's true. That's true. Okay, but small talk. Yeah, I love small talk. I mean, how's the weather, guys? What's up with that?
we do it on a weekly base for an hour
Oh
long. You
man,
know,
I
that's what we
actually
do.
I do it every
I
day. I walk to the studio. I came across because there's this restaurant next to me, and I was like, "Dude, what's up with this weather, man? How bad is this for your revenue?" He goes, "Hey, don't start about it, man." That's the start of my day. That's my first walk into here. Oh no, I go to the the school of my daughter. Uh, uh,
And talk to all the other
all the other
parents, like
parents, yeah.
the bad
Hey, you
game
came to work
yesterday.
today?
did you
Yeah,
see
yeah. This that.
the latest iPad update? You can now have your kid distracted all day, yeah, with the iPad.
Yeah.
No, that's not the talk we have. We're done with that phase.
It's a thing
Dude,
though.
my son
What I
actually climbed out of his bed.
Oh
That's
wow.
actually a thing. But he's 2 years and 4 months. He took out his sleeping thing. He climbed over the fence, and then he was all of a sudden he was
Like
downstairs. Like
doing
what the
pull-ups.
fuck? Hey, the dude is strong, man.
Yeah.
My daughter always also started taking off her slap sock, her
Oh,
sleeping
that's
bag.
so
It's
annoying.
the
Yeah.
start.
Oh,
It's the start.
Same here.
yeah, you
And
put it on.
she's like awake, awake, wakker, wakker
Oh,
on the baby phone. You hear it,
oh
but
yeah.
Baby phone.
I stopped using
I'm
the baby phone.
I'm
If I don't
sometimes
know
a
they're
bit
awake, it's also okay.
I'm sometimes a bit afraid if I hear those kind of things, like they're bad at small talk, and also when I see other parents, like when I go out with my daughter and I see other parents, they let their kid play, like kids under 2, like my daughter, and they are on their phone, um, not even really interacting that much with their kid, and then it already happened a bunch of times where I live that then the kid falls over, and then the parent sees it a bit too late, overreacts because they haven't seen how the kid falls, and just I see it a lot, and I'm a bit like, ooh, those kids. I wonder how that will impact because now it's millennials who use like us, like who use their phone a lot, raising kids.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, I really wonder how that will impact it. And while I'm saying this, Ralph's looking on his phone. It's like that's
I
bad
was
for kids.
thinking,
I think
I
that's
had
bad
to,
for kids.
I had to think of this movie. You're more of the books, I'm more of the movies. But it's a quite interesting watch. It's called Idiocracy, and it has the great dumbing down as the intro. You can also just look it up on YouTube.
The Idiocracy.
It's happening right now. Yeah, it's a really good movie about this guy who gets frozen in this thing of the army, and then he awakes like 600, 700 years later, and he's really smart, and the rest is really dumb.
2006.
I think I've
No, it's a
seen
really
part of
bad
it.
movie. It's just
Yeah, yeah. I think I tried watching it. Only
no,
thing
but
was funny was
the
with the
beginning is
name
about this
generator.
guy who is a quarterback and he fucks all these girls and impregnates them. And there's also these two people who are really smart and they go like, oh, it's not a good time to make children right now. And then in the end, they just die off. And the quarterback has this whole thing. How do you call it? A
Farm boy.
family tree of kids and all the shit, you know. But the quarterback is also drinking a lot. He's just a little bit stupid, and it's the great dumbing down. It's yeah,
Yeah, but
and it
it didn't
feels
even have
like it's
the
actually
impact
happening.
of phones yet, though. I think that's gonna be so.
Well, we're
So
getting lazy because of all the stuff that we can get done by stuff or
yeah, yeah,
people.
yeah, yeah. And like if you're a kid and your parents sit most of their time on their phone, that also has a huge impact, especially if your kid is
Oh,
under like
definitely,
4.
definitely. We have some rules at home that no phones during this and that. And when they go
Yeah,
to bed, then it's right away. Like my wife and
Only
I, we don't talk
only in
to
the
each other
bedroom.
anymore.
yeah. You sit on opposite ends of the couch, sending each other
Yeah.
memes. I guess
Yeah.
that's classic.
Yeah.
No, but
True story.
people tend to forget that kids copy their parents literally. Like they just look at what you do and that's what they copy. That's how they learn in the early phase of their lives. So really be aware of that. At least we try to, and
Yeah,
unfortunately,
and I
like
think
50% of the time we fail, but 50% we manage. So yeah.
also if your kid doesn't get attention from you, they will try more and more to get attention, and they will seek out more extreme ways.
Yeah, yeah, that's definitely true.
So It's such an
Yeah.
important thing, especially in a young kid.
Now it's became the dad podcast. Went
Yeah,
from the hobby
exactly.
podcast to the dad podcast, and I think it's done. The time
It's an
it's
hour in.
over.
We're
I
gonna say
do think
goodbye.
I
sometimes we need
respect
a bit
everybody who's
more
still listening.
bit we still need a bit more chit chat, like just everyday life and about our personal quotes. I think it needs to not always be all business, I think.
Oh, we can do more personal stuff. Sure, we can
Yeah.
do that.
I
Let's
think people
incorporate that.
like that. I think it becomes a bit more like personal and fun and yeah.
Okay, so let's. If you're listening right now, and if you would like to hear more personal stuff, then let us know.
Yeah.
We'll try to see if we can
If you
incorporate
want to
it.
know something about Jay Hardway, let us know in the
Or
comments.
Egg Boy.
Egg
Or
boy.
Egg Boy, shameless plug.
Yeah,
And are we still doing a shameless plug?
yeah,
Yeah,
sure.
always,
Put that out.
always.
Do your
Hey,
thing.
listen to Mask Off by Bass Checkers and Oliver Heldens. It's out now. It's on all streaming portals. Add it to your playlist. Get your friends over. Have your mom have a listen. It's really good for in the car, during workouts, whatever, on parties, of course. And yeah, leave a comment and say how it was.
I like how you took the camera as well. That was professional.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah. Any egg boy updates?
born to do this, man.
Egg Boy, I released a new track called Cruisin', and it's already been used in over 5,000 reels. And my track before
Oh,
that is called Amazing Day and has been used in over 55,000 reels. So
is
yeah,
that true? Because that's
yeah,
really a lot.
yeah, it's true. So it's going really well.
Nice.
Wow. I
Yeah,
thought
it's
you were
funny.
making a joke like it's being used in 5,000
No,
elevators,
no. If
but
you go to Instagram, everybody, and search for Egg Boy, and then go to audio, you can see the tracks that are on there, and then how many plays, how many reels it's been used in. And then you can go to the. You just listen to the music. It's actually like really enjoy making it.
Egg boy.
Yeah.
hey,
Beats by
but
egg
it's
boy.
impressive, man. Oh,
Well,
you have a lot of followers.
I think it was already impressive when it wasn't released yet, but the way the world works is it becomes impressive as soon as you reach success with it, which is
True. Once
well,
it's
it's
achieved.
I don't hate that, but it's just the way the world
Hey,
works.
and how can you search for the music?
You just search on Instagram. You
Oh,
have to click
yeah,
the
I got
search
it.
icon. Ignore all the distractions like hot girls there, Ralph,
Yeah,
on your
exactly.
I know,
explore
I'm
page.
looking at Amazing Day with High Mood.
Yeah, that's the Highmood is the label.
Oh, that's pretty
Perfect.
cool, man.
Yeah.
Okay, people, we're gonna end. We'll be back
Vintage
next
summer
week.
dresses. I really support that.
We will be back next week with Chucky, as mentioned before. And thanks for listening for now. If you're not a part of the Artist Coaching Discord yet, make sure to join there, and we will continue the conversation right there in the upcoming few days. And if not, we'll see you next week. Bye bye.
Bye.